good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. It is a new week, and let's find out what energy this week brings in for us. So, for this week's energy forecast, I'm going to be using Colette Byron's Goddess Power Oracle cards. I absolutely love these cards. They're absolutely gorgeous, and the messages are so potent. So if you're new to me, just a quick introduction. My name is Abigail Mensabunsu. I am an intuitive goddess coach, a multidimensional healer, a teacher, and a leader. And I work very closely with the goddess energy to guide, to heal, to inspire and empower women on their journey on this planet of love and beauty and empowerment. And I do this through many tools. I am the creator of the Moon Goddess Academy and the Moon Goddess Circle. So in the Moon Goddess Academy, I have courses that you can take. I have group memberships that you can be part of to really step into that fullness of your energy, of your power, of your essence. So let's go ahead and begin. So I put three cards popped out for us. And the three cards, the first, they're all goddesses. So the three goddesses that showed up for us is Parvati, Ishtar, and Ma'at. Parvati, Ishtar, and Ma'at. So I see that we have two Egyptian goddesses, and I kind of had a feeling about this. I don't know why, but let's see what messages. And all cards were upright. So again, whenever we get all sequence upright, it's just a cause of celebration. That means we've been doing our job. We've been doing the work that we know we're supposed to be doing. And this is almost like spirit cheering us on to say, yes, good job. Keep going, right? So let's begin with Parvati. Let's see what Parvati has for us. So Parvati's message, it has to do with devotion. And before I read the message, what is coming through is like she's asking you to recommit. This is what is coming in, to recommit to some kind of spiritual practice, some kind of exercise that connects you to a higher power or your higher self, or both, because they're both one and the same. But I'm getting the need for the higher self here, to embody the higher self. So devoting a time each morning this week, or maybe a couple of times this week, that you choose to connect with your higher self or higher power. So let's see what message Parvati has for us. True commitment comes from wholehearted living in body, mind, and spirit. When the Hindu goddess Parvati rises up to greet you, she is acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth. With the world in so much turmoil, it's not easy to devote yourself to higher knowledge and a strong faith. But if you are to serve others by being a bearer of love, compassion, and light, you must recommit yourself every day as unwavering in your devotion as Parvati was to Shiva and her goal of bringing peace to the world. Parvati asks that you find silence in daily meditation to contemplate your devotion, as well as your commitment to all of life and to making this world a better place. The great goddess is present when you renew your devotion and make that relationship primary above all else. Then in all areas of your life, your every choice will be in alignment and in service to this truth. Keyword truth here, because that comes up later too. When the goddess Parvati comes to visit, it is a beautiful sign that you are on the right track. So go ahead and just take in a deep breath in here and out. Receiving this message. And let's go ahead and move on to the next goddess card. So the next goddess that came through is Ishtar, and her message she brings in the message of communion. So we have devotion with Parvati, and now we're stepping into communion. And I feel like this card kind of dances with the message from Parvati, devoting a time and being in communion with a higher power and with your higher self, with your truth. Oh, I love how this is like coming together. Again, truth is like coming up, like constantly. So let's see. And again, this is an empowerment message. So let's see what Ishtar has to say for us. Your intimate relationship with the invisible world is being called upon right now as you enter unfamiliar environments and situations. It's time to commune with the great goddess, the aspect of the conscious universe in her most collaborative form. The world then becomes your oracle as it opens up and communicates everything you need in the form of signs, omens, and messages. Now is the time to pay attention to synchronicities and those moments when logic and reason fail to give you the full picture. The Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar reminds you of the time in her ancient temples when her priestesses served as oracles, communing with the goddess and imparting wisdom to the people who sought guidance. Look at everything in your life as an opportunity for communion. Losing the need for self-centeredness, connecting to Source in a sacred, intimate way. You will not pray on your knees as a supplicant. You engage with the great goddess as a partner in co-creation, participating in the making of worlds. No one needs to rescue you when you act empowered, aware, and awake to the wondrous miracle you're a part of. So I love this message that Ishtar is bringing in, being in that sacred communion with the divine goddess, the divine mother and the divine father, and your own holy self, your own higher self. And at the same time, it's like being in that communion empowers you in your life, right? Beautiful message here. Taking a deep breath in here. Thank you, Ishtar. And our last message is from the beautiful Ma'at, another Egyptian goddess. So Ma'at brings in the message of truth. So remember how truth kept coming in. Now we're going to tie it all together. So with this card, again, it's like being in devotion, like creating some kind of devotional practice where you're able to be in communion with a goddess, with a creator, with a divine mother, with your own holy self, your own holy Christ self, your own higher self, right? And through that, sourcing your own inner power to be empowered in your life, in all areas of your life. But one thing that we're also receiving from this devotion and communion is our truth. What is our truth? What are we here to share? What are we here to speak up about? What is your truth? What are you being asked to speak about at this time, this week? So this is the message from the goddess Ma'at. There's a great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. I think this is interesting. I'm reading this part and my throat gets all gunky, and we're talking about truth. So let me read it again. There is great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess Ma'at comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless self-inventory and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Being completely transparent with others, although it might be at first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do now. Again, I'm going to read this part again. Being completely transparent with others, although it might at first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do now. When you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and a new happiness that will pour over your life like a wild, sweet honey. Your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time of empowered choice making. You are doing all the right things if you follow the invitation of Ma'at to live fearlessly in truth. As the arbiter of balance and divine order, she reminds you of the great value of this way of being. Beautiful message, right? Beautiful message this week. So just kind of putting everything together. So we have Parvati coming in to remind us to create sacred space, to devote out a certain time, to really step into communion, which is the next message from Ishtar, to step into communion with our higher self, with the divine creator, with the divine mother, with our own holy self. And through that communion, receive that truth and be able to share that truth, to speak from that place of authenticity. And by doing so, we open up to receive blessing that floods through every part of our life. And the blessing is feeling empowered in all areas of your life. Beautiful message. So I hope this guides you through the week. Thank you for receiving this. Again, this is Abigail, your intuitive goddess coach. Have a great week.